Okay, greetings Alpha students. This is the video that you are going to watch, and I'm also going to make a screenshot, put this in the assignment so you have a general idea of the layout that you need to do so it looks similar to this, okay? So you notice I put all my layers inside a folder with my name because that's the page I'm designing. This morning we talked about putting layers in a folder. So you can see one called Graphic Circle with both yearbook, the class name, and my shape. Okay. If I go into that layer, I can come up here to my Move tool, and I can move those objects. Okay. I can also go into that folder and just move that folder because those two layers are inside that folder, which makes this act like one image. I can come up here to transform, and I'm going to hold down Shift and drag a corner. If you don't hold down Shift, you will distort it. We don't want it to distort, so hold down Shift. If you make a mistake, you can just do Control Z, and it'll go back. I could do Control Z several times, and it'll go back to its original um, um, effect. Okay. Now, you notice where this graphic circle is? It's underneath the teacher photo. Okay. So if I turn on and off the eyeball, you can see how that one's above the graphic circle. I want that graphic circle slightly under my head. So try to remember that. Now I'm going to locate this layer. This layer you probably won't have. I just decided to make a shape on top of my clipboard. Not my clipboard, but my keyboard. Okay. Because I liked how the message to my students kind of fits in there. I could skew this, but I wouldn't be able to read it. So I don't want the paragraph. I don't want the paragraph to take the shape of the same shape as this uh, trapezoid or whatever you want to call it. Okay, now one thing that you guys haven't done yet is you haven't made or brought in these screenshots of the students. Okay, now I realize some of you don't have the class. Okay, we talked about that. I even shared a spreadsheet with you guys, right? So I know Phoebe is doing my class, and I know she doesn't have um, screenshots of these students, but I'm sure she can get screenshots, at least one of my class, my yearbook class. But I don't really want screenshots of the yearbook class because we are going to have a separate yearbook page. So what I'll probably do is end up giving Phoebe some of these photos. Okay. In the meantime, Phoebe, uh, just go find some random photos on the website. On the internet. Okay. All right. Sorry to make this about you, but anyway. And that goes for anybody who doesn't have access to photos because you're not in that particular class. Go ahead and just find random photos online. Okay. So we're going to show you how to put these photos under screenshots here inside a rectangle. So you see this little arrow here? That's called a clipping mask. And what it's doing, and I'm going to release that clipping mask. What it's doing is actually going inside this square. Why am I making this square? Well, because I want everything to be the same size, and that square is the same as all the others. So what I'm going to do to make this easy for you guys is I'm going to delete all these layers. Okay. and start from scratch. So I'm just going to say goodbye. Okay. Now, we all have the horizontal rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another rectangle. Now, the color of this next rectangle won't matter, but I'm going to add a layer first. Okay. And then just to make it easy, I'll just make it black because we know that black looks good against orange, right? Halloween colors. So I'm going to hold down Shift and make a square. So you can see it right here, layer 7. Now I don't really need to name it, so I'm not going to worry about that. But what I'm going to do is do Control J 2 times. What does that do? It copies those squares. Okay, so I'm just going to move those over and move the other one over. Okay, now I want these distributed evenly, so do your best to do that. If I select these 3 by holding down Shift, okay, you notice that, those 3 layers, you can also come in here and Control click those layers. Now, it looks like they're distributed equally, and that's just because I eyeballed it, but let's do it. Let's show you how it actually works. If you come up here under equal gaps and then go to, let's see right here, equal gaps. Yeah, okay, so that's the horizontal, equal gaps. Okay, so that's a good little trick, and then I'll just center it like that. Just do your best. Look, if it's not perfect, no big deal. I'll help you later. Just do your best. You can even manually do it, okay? Remember, you're doing Control J to duplicate those squares, okay? If you need help, just rewatch the video. Okay, now I'm going to go find those photos. I've saved my screenshots in a folder. So I'm going to go in my folder, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Oh, it's on desktop, actually. I put it in a folder called Artwheel Photos. So there's Emma, there's Matt. I'm going to take Matt now. I'm going to open up Matt. Okay, there's Matt. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Control click Matt, and I'm going to do I'm going to do Control A to select Matt. Control A, that's select all. You can see this little dashed line around that. And then I'm going to do Control C to copy. Okay, so Control A and then Control C. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to make sure I'm in that layer first and then do Control V. And there, see how Matt's photo is right above layer 7. So I'm going to move this over here and then I'm going to right click and choose Clipping Mask. You see how easy that was? See that little arrow pointing downward? Okay, and there's Matt. I'm going to resize Matt a little bit by holding down Shift and dragging a corner. If you don't hold down Shift, it'll distort. Don't forget, hold down Shift. I know there's a lot of things you have to remember. Just do your best. Okay? So Matt's done. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go ahead and open, and I'm going to go get Emma. And there she is. I'm going to do Control A, Control C, and then I'm going to go into my academic spread and do Control V. There she is. I'm going to put her on this side, but now she's in the wrong layer order. So there she is. I'm going to move her up here. And then I'm going to right click and choose Clipping Mask. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to resize her by holding down Shift. And there she is. And then I'll probably put the Zoom class right in the middle there. But I don't need to do that because you know how to do that. And I don't want to take too much more time. So really that's what I want. I want those 3 pictures in the rectangle. Okay? Do your best. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? As long as I see that you did something, that would be good enough for me. And we can always tweak it on Monday. Okay, guys, hope this helps.